Yeah, hello?
Hey, what are you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm over here working, dude. Yeah, I'm working.
Hey, I got a house over here. The guy that lives here is on oxygen tanks, and the back was overgrown like crazy. Anyways, I'm wanting to have it taken care of for him the rest of the year. And if I paid you, would you have an opening for another lawn?
Yeah, of course.
You know, Smokey, I never gave up on Kevin. I always knew he was going to bring his long, illustrious beard back and keep his smooth talking just flowing into my ears. It's so pleasant. Smokey, don't talk about him that way. He is a sensitive man.
All right, I just spoke with the homeowner. We're down here in Texas. We're gonna make this property look beautiful. Oh, here's a pipe. He was telling me there's pipe in the yard. Definitely don't want to hit the clean out. But we got some crazy chest high grass and some edging, some overgrown nonsense, but nothing we can't handle, right? Let's go ahead and dive into it. I was just having to look down right there. That is a needle. That sucks, but I'm gonna throw this in the trash. I don't think this was from drug use. I think this is diabetes or something like that. Either way, it is dangerous. You know, make no mistake. The type of jobs that you see guys like me on the internet doing, they are dangerous in multiple ways. Welcome back to the channel. If that first scene's familiar to you, thank you so much for supporting my other channel. It's called The Boring Channel. It is not a fake channel. It is a real channel. I know it sounds like a joke because I started it as a joke. But thank you to everybody that does support me over there. And basically it's this channel without commentary. So what I do on this channel is I talk about things that are going on in the job, philosophy, life, inspiration, motivation, religion. Rarely politics because people are sensitive. You want an example? I like puppies better than kittens. Down in the comments, people are freaking out. And boy, are we all excited for election year, right? Whew. Anyways, one of the things that came with me recently going through this, I don't know, time of reflection in my life is I ended up not posting on this channel for 10 months. 10 months. Now, the event that put that into motion, where I didn't post that long, actually happened over 2 years ago now. And it was quite a difficult time for me. I don't want to say I was depressed, but I was definitely going through some mental stuff. I was definitely on the sadder side of things, although I stayed happy. I don't know the best way to classify it. I'm not going to say depression. Don't take away my guns, government. I don't like hunting, but I do love shooting some targets. And I do love the aspect of thinking that I can protect my home. No, I'm just kidding. Boy, that got political. Sorry about that. Anyways, I do live on a property with a very long road. If you are unannounced, just a warning. I'll probably meet you out there with a gun in my pocket. It's just how I work, okay? There are some freaks out on the internet. Although at my last house, I did have a lot of people actually show up to my house. And when I lived in town, and they were all cool. So the majority of people in life are cool. I know that. There are some people that are sketchy. It's whatever. I don't judge. But I do approach certain situations with caution. Boy, I'm already getting off topic. This lawn here was a lawn that we did in Texas. And the gentleman was disabled. He was on an oxygen tank. He ended up being a really, really kind guy. I wanted to help him out further as we, you know, or as I was working on the lawn. I was thinking about ways that I could help. I actually met a lawn guy prior to doing this job who knew me from the channel. He saw the truck. He said, "Hey, you're the Juggernaut." And I was like, "Yeah, it's nice to meet you, man." And I asked him about some of the work down there. Anyways, I hired him to take care of this gentleman's property, and So we took care of the property the entire year, the rest of the year, which was kind of late in the season. But I was going to have him keep taking over and mowing the lawn because I knew the guy's condition. When he showed up for the spring cut, we actually got a phone call from him, and he notified us that the family was at the property and that the gentleman had passed away. So for the family members of this gentleman, I would like to say my deepest condolences to you, and that it was very wonderful to meet him. So it was actually one of my favorite projects when I was on the trip. Now, when I went on this trip, okay, I talked about not posting for 10 months, right? When I went on the trip, this was actually while I was going through my head trash. It was after the event. I kept working because I knew that's what I was supposed to do. I didn't know what to do with it from there. I posted some on the boring channel. I kept some that you guys have never seen. I'm working on those currently, and they will be seen on the channel soon. So I'm excited that that's going to be happening. We've been going through and finding all of them. They're just, I had them stacking on hard drives, and it was really cool to keep working. It kept me kind of sane. There's something healthy about doing what I do. It's chaos to order, but the other thing is, it's a huge blessing that for me, that the people that I work for now, it's completely free. It helps them out, and it's very spiritually rewarding and very comforting to be able to help them the way that I do. So, I've said charity cuts in the past, and people have a problem with that. The thing is, they have a problem with it because I make an income from my channel, which is how I keep it going, which is how charities work. I'm not a non-profit company or a charity, which most of those, I'm not going to get into that too much, but most of them are pretty shady. There's some charities out there where 98% goes to the CEOs. So let's not talk about that. Anyways, progressing forward, I got this comment tonight, and it says, Kevin, the reason I began watching you were I'm sorry, Kevin, the reason I began watching you were your inspirational talks while you work. You stopped. I don't know why. I just explained it. Basically, if you didn't know, I found somebody who was deceased on the property. It was a very difficult thing for me. I went through a time of reflection, time of healing. Now here I am. I feel much better, and I'm ready to give you more videos. Anyways, progressing on her comment, I stopped watching. I can watch lawn care 24/7. That is awesome, and I'm glad you're willing to watch my videos 24/7. That's pretty cool. What you gave up was your destiny, what you were called for, your choice. You lost. This is as far as you will advance. Be happy with what you have. We wanted to bless you so much. Anyways, I'm sorry, so much more. So, to this person, I'm not going to say who it was, but I just want to say thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate it. I wish you the best. I don't know if you're going through a darker time in your life right now. I know that the videos had a lot of inspirational type stuff, and even after I kind of went through that thing where I found the person, I was still posting videos on here. And if you go back and you look at that time period, you'll notice a lot of the videos I actually used voiceovers from somebody else. And it was because I couldn't I couldn't bring myself to talk. I would sit down, be in front of a video, I'd have it edited, it looks great, I'm ready to speak, it comes out like mush. I'm not clear, I wasn't confident in it. So I took this time to reflect so that I don't plant negative seeds in anybody else's heart. And I want people to know that, just because you go through something doesn't mean that there's not light at the end of the tunnel. It doesn't mean things are done. I didn't get rid of my destiny. I still kept working. I still knew that this is what I was supposed to do, what I was called to do, and I kept doing it diligently. And the best part is, I never knew if I was going to put the videos out. So it was completely free. And it felt amazing to be able to go out and do this. And, while I was on this trip and the several trips that I've taken afterwards, I would go take a lump sum from the bank and I would give that money away. Now, I'm not doing that to say braggadocious or, you know, hey, look at me, pat on the back. But what I'm saying is, I felt called to do that, and I listened. And so I want to let you know that sometimes, to others, it may not seem that you're doing what you're supposed to. You may be taking a different path from what they envision you taking. But that may be the path that you're supposed to go down. Now, I feel that with confidence, I can say what I did was what I was supposed to do. It was actually probably very healthy for me. Again, it allowed me to reflect on life, count my blessings, enjoy my family. I spent a lot of time away from my family on the road, which, you know, one of the things I was told when I was younger, you know, my wife and I, we had a long-distance relationship, and one of the things I was told is that, you know, distance will make love stronger. I don't know the way it was put, but you get what I'm saying. It made my wife and I grow very close. It was also healthy for my marriage because my wife was able to step up in a way that she wasn't able to when I was home, because I take care of a lot of things, but when she was here taking care of the family and stepping up so that I could do what I felt called to do, she supported me because she knew it was best for me. So my wife's packing me a lunch this whole time while we're on this trip, which is really cool. It allows me to have something while I'm out and about, because I'll totally work and forget about going and getting something to eat. Plus, I don't know where I'm at. Anyway, she left me a note. It says, "To Kevy from Mrs. Hanson." Anyways, back to it. My wife was able to step up, gained a ton of confidence from doing so, and it made us grow very close. For as much time as I was away, I was also able to be with my family, and the time that I spent with my family, I was able to spend that time with them, growing closer to them, actually spending time with them versus being distracted. Although, you know, I would say this person's right that, you know, I knocked myself off course and maybe it did delay my quote-unquote destiny. You know, the thing is, wherever I'm gonna be is where I'm gonna go. You know, it's gonna happen. I'm not necessarily diverting from the course, although it does go against everything that they say about YouTube success and posting with consistency and things like that. So, you know, the first video that I put back up got like 300,000 views in the first 3 or 4 days. So thank you guys so much for the support. That actually means a lot. And it was a huge motivation as I came back that, hey, people still want to watch. So, you know, again, I'm just trying to be inspirational about the time I took away so that I could focus on the projects and focus in a more meaningful way. You see, a lot of people that do what I do, and this isn't to bash anybody, I'm just stating, a lot of people that do what I do go out and make a video, edit a video, put a video up, which is great in one sense because you can make subtle changes, and if you're doing something wrong for 20 or 30 videos, you can correct it. I already had a groove on shooting the videos. I know how I like shooting them. I know I like the angles that I like. But what it allowed me to do was not focus on whether the video was going to do good or not, but just focus on the people I was actually helping. Not looking at the rewards. Was it going to do well? I don't care if it does well, because it felt really good to do it. And I believe a lot of success in life comes when you do something that you're passionate about and you make yourself valuable to society. So, you know, I was being drawn to do this. This is how I bring value to society. And this is the other half of it. So she's correct on the side that, you know, I delayed destiny in the sense that, you know, I would have a lot more growth. I would have larger numbers. I would have bigger followers. And, you know, that doesn't help when you got head trash going on. You're like, well, I could be doing a lot better. And then you start playing the comparison game with other people. And even some of my best friends, I'm going, hey, they're doing really well. Why can't I get over my funk? If I could just do that, maybe I'd be right there with them. Well, maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I'll catch back up. I don't really care. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. The other thing I get bashed about, I don't want to say bash. The other thing I've had a lot of comments on recently was speaking about religion. I don't want to shy down from that. I don't care what somebody else's religion is. And the fact is, whatever you believe, you believe. And, you know, if somebody compared it and said, hey, if I was a Satanist, would you stop and listen to it? And I said, you know, most media that's seen on from Hollywood, most music that's made from the music industry, most posts that are made on social media are all Satanistic type content. If you're, you know, a believer and you believe in that, and which I do, I believe there's spiritual warfare everywhere. And in all, I'm not a brimstone and fire kind of guy. When I speak about religion, I try to speak in a way that I share what the Lord's done in my life and how it's benefited me, and how I hope that you find the Lord in your own way. But the thing is, we're all on our own journey, our own designed path that the Lord has figured out for us, and we have to go through our own experiences. So who am I to tell anybody else anything about where they're at, what they're doing, how they're doing it? And, you know, when it comes to freedom of speech, I may not agree with you, but the American way used to be, I may not agree with you, but I will defend to the death your right to be able to say it. Do we still believe that way in America? I don't know. Again, not getting into politics. I'm just going to say I don't know anymore. I think a lot of people could probably relate to that. So anyways, I guess that's my whole talk there. There's a lot more I definitely could say. You know, basically what I was trying to say with the religion is that I just try to share the good things that have happened to me since I became a believer, share the experiences I've had in a non-braggadocious way, so that maybe it inspires you to go down your own path of self-help that may lead you to reading the Bible, and that the Bible affects your life in the way that I did, which I hope it does. I'm extremely happy for you. If it doesn't, and you find success in other ways, I'm extremely happy for you. It's not for me to tell you where you should be or how you should do it, okay? That's not what I'm here to do. So, anyways, I've talked a whole bunch. People give me too much crap about talking about things that are basically irrelevant to the video. I kind of use these videos as a podcast, maybe a personal therapy. I don't know. I've gotten on here and cried before. Is there a problem with that? I don't know. It really, really helped me. I've got a video. I'm calling it the black video. Not a racial thing. Woo. Okay, calm down. I'm calling it the black video because it didn't have any videos. It's kind of like Metallica's Black Album, man. It's called the Black Album because the cover was black. I'm calling it the black video because there was no video. It was just me talking. And I talked about the things I went through, and I broke down, and it was my first time trying to speak with anybody about it in 2 years, and I'm glad I did.
What could you do to improve yourself? Well, let's step one step backwards. The first question might be, why should you even bother improving yourself? And I think the answer to that is something like, so you don't suffer any more stupidly than you have to. And maybe so others don't have to either. It's something like that, that it's not some casual self-help doctrine. It's that if you don't organize yourself properly, you'll pay for it, and in a big way, and so will the people around you. And you could say, well, I don't care about that, but that's actually not true. You actually do care about that, because if you're in pain, you will care about it. It's very rare that you can find someone who's in excruciating pain who would ever say, well, it would be no better if I was out of this. So you get your act together so that there isn't any more stupid pain around you than necessary. Well, so then the question might be, well, how would you go about getting your act together? It's something like, look around for something that bothers you and see if you can fix it. You can do this in a room. It's quite fun to do it just when you're sitting in a room, like a room, maybe your bedroom. You can sit there and just sort of meditate on it and think, okay, if I wanted to spend 10 minutes making this room better, what would I have to do? And you have to ask yourself that, right? It's not a command, it's like a genuine question. And things will pop out in the room that you know, like there's a stack of papers over there that's kind of bugging you, and you know that maybe a little order there would be a good thing, and you know, there's some rubbish behind your computer monitor that you haven't attended to for like 6 months, and the room would be slightly better if it was a little less dusty and the cables weren't all tangled up the same way. And allow yourself just to consider the expanse in which you exist at that moment. There'll be all sorts of things that'll pop out in it that you could just fix. And I would say, start where you can start. You know, if something announces itself to you, which is a strange way of thinking about it, as in need of repair, that you could repair, then hey, fix it. You fix 100 things like that, your life will be a lot different. Now, I often tell people too, fix the things you repeat every day, because people tend to think of those as trivial, right? You get up, you brush your teeth, you have your breakfast, you know, you have your routines that you go through every day. Well, those probably constitute 50% of your life. And people think, well, they're mundane, I don't need to pay attention to them. It's like, no, that's exactly wrong. The things you do every day, those are the most important things you do. So 100 adjustments to your broader domain of being, and there's a lot less rubbish around and a lot fewer traps for you to step into. Once you've got your mind and your emotions together, and once you're acting that out, then you can extend what you're willing to consider yourself and start fixing up the things that are part of your broader extent. Now, sometimes you don't know how to do that, so you might say, imagine you're walking down Bloor Street and there's this guy who's like alcoholic and schizophrenic and has been on the streets for 10 years. He sort of stumbled towards you and, you know, incoherently mutters something. That's a problem. And it would be good if you could fix it, but you haven't got a clue about how to fix that. You just walk around that and go find something that you could fix, because if you muck about in that, not only is it unlikely that you'll help that person, it's very likely that you'll get hurt yourself. So, you know, just because while you're experiencing things announce themselves as in need of repair doesn't mean that it's you right then and there that should repair them. You have to have some humility. You know, you don't walk up to a helicopter that isn't working and just start tinkering away with it. You have to stay within your domain of competence. But most of the time, if people look at their lives, it's a very interesting thing to do. I like the idea of the room, because you can do that at the drop of a hat. You know, you go back to where you live and sit down and think, okay, I'm going to make this place better for half an hour. What should I do? And you have to ask, and things will just pop up like mad. And it's partly because your mind is a very strange thing. As soon as you give it a name, a genuine aim, it'll reconfigure the world in keeping with that aim. That's actually how you see to begin with. And so if you set it a task, especially, you have to be genuine about it, which is why you have to bring your thoughts and emotions together, and then you have to get them in your body so you're acting consistently. You have to be genuine about the aim, but once you aim, the world will reconfigure itself around that aim, which is very strange. You see what you aim at. And so, because one inference you might draw from that is, be careful what you aim at, right? What you aim at determines the way the world manifests itself to you. And so if the world is manifesting itself in a very negative way, one thing to ask is, are you aiming at the right thing? Now, you know, I'm not trying to reduce everybody's problems to an improper aim. People get cut off at the knees for all sorts of reasons. You know, they get sick, they have accidents. There's a random element to being, that's for sure. And so you don't want to take anything, even that particular phrase, too far. You want to bind it with the fact that random things do happen to people, but it's still a great thing to ask.
to go ahead and pull up this video on the Boring channel. By the way, there's a link in the description for that. What I'm going to do is go to the comments section. See if there's any comments on here that maybe there's some questions. Here's a compliment to my wife. Sounds like you married a real woman. Someone who appreciates all that you do. Hang on to her tight and don't let go. You are both setting a great example for your daughter on what a real marriage is. I greatly appreciate that. I actually had a comment on another video recently. Let me pull that one up. I think it's pretty humorous to me. I do my best. We don't have the perfect marriage, I guess. I don't think anybody could. What I mean by that is there's always room for growth and improvement, and my wife and I are well aware of that. Anyways, I had a recent comment on a different video, and somebody said, your advice isn't about lawn care. You shouldn't be giving financial advice. Actually, I find it distracting. Can't watch anymore. Now you're giving personal advice about marriage. And in that video I was talking about how when you come home and if you're having a hard time, you know, don't put that emotional burden of whatever struggle you were having on that day onto your wife. They told me not to give advice about marriage. Hey, look, when it comes to business, because they said business, financial, and marriage. So when it comes to business, I ran a successful lawn care business for 10 years. Or, you know, success is all in the eye of the beholder, I guess, and how you define success. But the fact that it didn't close doors and I made a profit and I was able to feed my family and it was the only source of income in the house, I'd say that was successful. So a successful lawn care business. Financial, come a long ways. In fact, when I started this channel, I had a whopping credit score of low 500s. I think it was around 515. Now we're rocking 800 plus. That's pretty cool. So, you know, there's some stuff there that I feel that I can tell somebody some good advice on how not to screw up, because I've screwed up, and then some advice on how to improve because I've actually done it. So there's some financial advice. Well, that's not financial advice. That's just an explanation of why I feel that I have the credibility to be able to speak about it. You know, because if you've been through something and you fixed it and resolved it, and you could speak about it. I also believe in a debt-free lifestyle, which is something I don't currently have, but it's something that I strive for and continue to strive for. So that'll be knocked out pretty soon. So keep that in mind. I'll be able to come on here and toot my own horn when I get there, buddy. Anyways, as far as marriage goes, Rachel and I've been married for, I believe, 11 years now. I don't know. I'm losing track. We've been around each other a while. And it wasn't always perfect. It's, again, just like the credit score. It wasn't always perfect. But we loved each other. We pushed through the difficult times, and we learned a lot. I feel that a lot of people, when they get married young, are going through a stage in their life when they're still kids, and they've got to learn a lot. And I think that's probably a big reason why people get divorced. They get married at a young age. They don't realize that there's a lot of baggage. There's things that they got to work through, that they're idiots, that they can take criticism from the other person in a constructive way. Not everything has to be an argument. The baggage that you saw from your parents when you were growing up, and the toxic type of things that they did, you don't have to do the same thing. I've had a lot of marriage advice given to me over the years, and one of the best pieces of marriage advice that was ever given to me was actually given to me by my wife's father before he passed away. And he passed away shortly after I asked my wife after I asked him if I could marry her. Anyways, well, I miss him. He's such a good dude. But anyways, he told me that I want to put it the way that he put it. He said, everything will work out in the wash. There's nothing in your marriage that can't be fixed through conversation. And I believe that to be true. You know, Rachel and I have been through a lot of different things over the years where, you know, it's just been an amazing wild ride. And you know, if you're with anybody for 11 years, you're gonna have the same situation. It's gonna be this amazing wild ride where at the end of it, you said, well, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, the good, bad, the ugly. It was fun, and I enjoyed it, and I loved it. And even when I didn't like it, I'm glad we went through it because it made us grow closer. I'm lucky to have the support system that I have, and I'm well aware of that. Not everybody has that, and you know, not everybody realizes that there's work to that as well. You know, as I was speaking about it, you want to have a healthy marriage, you have to work at it. It's not just easy. We're in this easy society. Everything's got to be fast and easy, and you know, that's not the way it's supposed to be. People need time, and people need to be able to communicate and feel loved, and there's a lot of things that go into a relationship. I think we can all admit that. One of the biggest things is to be less about yourself and more about the other person. I think in human nature, we're naturally selfish beings. We tend to focus on self, and the more you put others as priority in a loving way with no judgment, the more your life ultimately changes for the better, which is kind of an amazing circle how it comes around. That, you know, you might think you need to solve somebody else's problem, but you might just need to be there for a conversation, which is a really cool thing about the jobs that I do. A lot of the times I find out that, you know, people are in the situations they're in because of health, or being you know, that they're not able to be around their family for whatever reason. Maybe they moved away, or you know, things didn't work out in life. And I find that as I put people as the priority versus the jobs that I'm doing, don't get me wrong, the job is a priority, but as I've said earlier, I put the people in doing the job as priority versus making the video content as priority. I kind of put that on the back burner so that I could focus on the people and give the gift in a true form of a gift. And what I find out is that a lot of people just need a conversation. They are dying for a conversation. So here's what I'm going to propose. I've challenged myself for years to make myself a better salesman in business by just being able to communicate with people at random. So I will walk up to strangers when I am at stores or wherever I might be, and I'll just start a conversation with them. If it presents itself as an opportunity to start a conversation. And my goal there isn't to do anything but build good communication skills. And one of the best communication skills you can do is just let somebody else talk. You can learn little techniques on starting small conversation, which allows people to open up to bigger conversation. But I'm going to encourage you. I get a lot of comments where people say, I wish I could do what you do. I want to help people out the way you do. And I want to encourage you today, if you feel called to do that and you would like to, but you're not able to do what I can do. Maybe your physical needs or your physical fitness isn't in the position to allow you to do it. Maybe you don't have the tools. Maybe you don't know how to shoot videos and you don't want to do videos. One of the things I would suggest is to be neighborly. You know, in the Bible it says love your neighbor. And I'm going to encourage people to just start random conversations with people and let them speak. You know, you speak too. Don't be rude. Figure out the best way. But make yourself aware how much you're speaking in the conversation. And allow them to speak. Tell you their story. Tell you what they got going on. And one of the best things you can do in your life to improve your own life is to listen to other people. They'll tell you things. If you listen, they'll talk. And sometimes it's BS. Sometimes you find hidden nuggets that are highly beneficial to you in your life. But almost always, the other person feels really good on the other side because they had a conversation with somebody It was a complete stranger, no strings attached. They don't have to think about anything with it. I think a lot of us would have less of a need for therapy if we were just able to talk with other people. Pretty fine processing now. I could probably get that fanned out in the grass and then give it one more pass and it'll hide. So there's not much space here to work with. Alright, so what I was going to do there is mulch it up and make it disappear, which you guys have seen me do with really tall grass before. But the thing is, I just don't have enough space to actually disperse it when I'm done. So I got to find enough, but nowhere to spread it out and hide it in the grass. So we went ahead and just shoveled it in the trash cans. This is Kevin. Hey, man.
Yeah, hello?
Hey, what are you doing, brother?
Hey, what are you doing, brother? Hey, what's up, man? I'm over here working, dude. Yeah, I'm working.
Hey, I got a house over here. I don't know the exact address. If I give you the address, it's not too big, but the guy that lives here is on oxygen tanks, and the back was overgrown like crazy. Anyways, I'm wanting to have it taken care of for him the rest of the year, and if I paid you, would you have an opening for another lawn?
Yeah, of course. So you're saying that, okay, so I guess you're gonna mow it, right?
Yeah, I mowed it down. It's ready to take on. It's looking good again. It's all edged up and cleaned up.
Yeah.
You just take it on your schedule, whatever you would take for the rest of the year. And if I text you the address, will you come give me a bid on it?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I can see that. For sure, yeah.
All right, bro.
Galveston?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me work on the property. Absolutely. What do you think of it?
I love it.
You love it?
Yes.
Awesome. So that was Ronald. Big thank you to him for letting us work on this property. It was a really fun project. There was a lot of high grass, so much that I couldn't mulch it into this area. That's all right. But I got it cleaned up and it's looking good. Now, here's what we did for Ronald. On top of that, he's an older man, obviously having health issues. He's on oxygen. I want to make sure that his lawn is taken care of. So I did contact a lawn care company down here, and I'm gonna get an estimate from them, and I'm gonna see if I can't get his lawn taken care of for the rest of the year, because I think that would be a good thing to do for him. On top of that, I had a couple $100 cash with him, and I dropped that on him in case he needs it. Anyways, having said all that, I'm out of here. I hope you enjoyed the project just as much as I did. I was a little sketched out when I saw the needle back here. I'm not about the biohazard stuff. Let's get some after shots. See you in the next one, baby. Thank you for watching.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Alright, so this is officially the last day at the ocean with the ladies. At least on this tour.
It's very sad.
It's
Don't worry, we'll
Go past this light.